I was sending messages to my contacts on LinkedIn to promote my astrology, as you do when you have a little business and you want to earn a little bit of money doing something that you love doing. And you try things and you have to try what does not work in order to know that it doesn't work. And almost nobody answered to me. Well, one person answered. And she told me, I don't want astrology. In her message, she said, I know a better way to predict the future. Only this first line made me laugh, because I had completely forgotten that for many people, astrology is about predicting the future. I've forgotten. For me, astrology is about understanding ourselves and understanding life. And when we understand life and ourselves, then we create the future. So we don't need to predict it. Astrology might be useful for the timing, but actually synchronicities and intuition can be useful for the timing as well. So all these future concerns, I had completely forgotten about them. And the person carried on, I don't need astrology, I know a better way to predict the future. It is prayer. You should try it, she told me. I aim all my prayers at Jesus Christ. That's how I get results. That's what she told me in the message. Well, I love Jesus Christ. I am not a church person. Stay with me. Stay with me. No, I am very critical of the church. Because the church, what they did, they took a jewel. Because the gospel is a jewel. All the stories in it. I am a storyteller. I know good stories. And the stories in the gospel are among the best stories in the world. And they took this jewel, the church, and they coated it with layers of shit. And by shit, I mean, usually I don't use words like that, but sometimes you can. Layers of guilt, of shame, of fear of hell, of duty. You must love, otherwise you will go to hell. How to make people completely neurotic. And then, with this jewel coated with shit, they went to the people with this lump of shit and they said, this is a jewel, have that shit. And many people believed and they had the shit and they may not even understood the jewel within the shit. And other people maybe were a little bit more emotionally healthy and they say, no, we won't have that shit, and they didn't take the shit and they didn't take the jewel either. So maybe we should give the gospel back to storytellers. Because with storytellers, you don't have to believe the story. You have to believe in it only if the storyteller is talented enough to make it credible. And when the storyteller is good, all stories are true. All fairy tales have some symbolic, metaphorical truth. And if it's more than metaphorical, that's your business to know what you believe or not. So one of the stories I really loved from the gospel when I was a child especially, but still now as an adult, is the story of this fisherman who had been fishing all night long. I don't know why they were fishing at night, maybe that's a fisherman technique. And they were on their little boats on the lake, and they were throwing their nets and getting them back, and nothing in it. So you got to persevere. It's a little bit like marketing, You go about, you need to have a good net, and you throw it, and then you get it back, and you look what you've got. And sometimes there is nothing. And on that night, maybe the fish were at the bottom of the lake looking upwards, and they looked at the nets passing over the heads, and they stayed at the bottom, and well, they were safe, and the fishermen got nothing. And so they persevere, and they say, maybe we should try on the other side of the lake. And they went on the other side of the lake, but the fish were on the other side, and they kept throwing the net, and they got nothing, and they kept throwing the net, and all night long. And if you have ever tried to market your little business, you have compassion, you know. And in the morning they were depressed, they were sad, they were exhausted, and they say, we've done all what we could. And they came back, and there was Jesus on a stroll on the shore of the lake, and say, how, my friends, how are you doing? How is the fishing going? Oh, Jesus, we've got nothing. And Jesus told them, okay, try just another time. Oh, Jesus, we've done that all night long. There are no fish left in this lake. Try just another time, I'm telling you. Okay, if you say so. And they went, and they threw their nets without believing that they could get anything more than before. And there the nets were full of fish. So full that the boat started to sink. And they didn't sink, but almost. That's the story. And it means that actually when you got the spiritual connection, things work. Jesus said that in another moment in the gospel, and well, believe it or not, it's beautiful poetry. Jesus said, don't worry about what you are going to eat. Don't worry about the clothes you are going to wear. Look at the birds in the sky. Look at the flowers in the field. They don't work. Do they work? No, they don't. But they have all what they need. And you are worth much more than birds or flowers. So just look for the things of heaven. Just look for the spiritual things. And the rest will be added unto you. That's what is said. Which means that if you are a Christian, a real Christian, you don't believe in work. You don't believe that you have to go to work. You don't believe that you need to do all the marketing. You just get spiritual connection, and the rest will be added unto you. Believe it not, that's what is said in the story.